like we do it, like we do it.
Hey guys! Oh,
I last minute ding. Jason and I both aren't feeling well, everyone. We're just gonna start.
Yeah, let's just start with that. We're both kind of under the weather, and our dingers are not working tonight. Usually, we start with a good ding to get this going.
My dinger's a little bent. I'll be honest.
Mine's a little weak. I don't know what's going on. We used to have bells. We just need to bring the bells back. It's not like they disappeared. Man, I cannot believe it's been like. What did we take a week off? It feels like 3 weeks.
It feels like we've been off 5 weeks. It's funny how doing this every week, you take 1 week off and it feels like it's been forever. But also, we should let people know right off the bat, there's so much coming. There's Halloween, for one, on a Tuesday.
Yes.
And hello, the Super Bowl of BravoCon's coming.
BravoCon,
so
yes.
We're going to be off for 2 weeks, guys, whether we like it or not. So after this, by the way, I have a cough drop too, just to help me get through the show.
Cute. Yeah, no, after this, we are taking 2 weeks off. Like Josh said, it's Halloween. And then we are actually flying back the day that we usually do Anchor Watch from Vegas, from BravoCon. And then we have a special thing dropping that week, too, that I think you guys will really love. But I'm not going to say anything else about that, which will be great.
It's huge. No, never mind.
It's good. It's good.
I'm not saying anything.
Well, guys, welcome back to Anchor Watch, our late night below deck chat, where Josh and I take over Adam's channel to talk about, I wanted to say the highest rated show on Bravo, but right now Med is not pulling in the same numbers as it has in the past and kind of slipping a little bit, which kind of honestly was shocking because with all of the changes, I saw coming with bringing Kyle back, with having Tumi in here from Below Deck Down Under, keeping Natalia. I was like, Luca from Down Under. I was like, this is going to be great. And a couple episodes, just to be honest, I just, my opinion, have kind of fizzled a little bit for me. And this past episode that we just watched, though, was pretty good. It's pretty good.
It was pretty good. You know what? It could have. Well, we'll start with this. Tumi and Natalia. Boy, people love to go back and forth in the comments about it. Some of you guys who write in, our replay crew, you guys know Jason and I hop into the comments. We comment with you guys. There's our Tumi. People going back and forth. Very divisive over this. Some people felt like, we were defending one over the other. If you guys look back at the past shows, I kind of honestly ripped into both. I will always rip a little harder into the leader, whoever that is, because they are in the leadership role.
This is true.
To tango, and if I see a leader fighting with people just as bad, I do take them to task a little bit more. But I will say this, Jason, I got a little nervous that that Med was going to serve us up for a while was a Tumi Natalia fight.
Yeah.
And I was getting really tired of it really quickly. But this last week we found a little bit of, I hope, common ground has been reached, and they seem to be civil after a night out of drinking. And
I'm just really curious to see how this goes. We comment on what we see, right? So like I did say something about, I will say it again. I found all three of our interior, excluding Jessica, the fourth stew, but Tumi and Natalia and Kyle kind of acting just a little bit insecure, a little bit kind of immature, and that's nothing bad. But I did say in the comments, I went back in the comments and I'm like, they are just setting Tumi up to rock the rest of the season. And I didn't expect, in their night out for Natalia and Tumi to kind of come back together and for Natalia to kind of start that conversation of like, let's just start fresh. Let's just move forward. I was shocked. And I almost feel like we got played because we see, like normally with Bravo, right? We see in the future that there's like a common denominator that Captain Sandy refers to. And I was really thinking that it was going to be Natalia, and now I'm kind of confused.
Yeah. Would you be terribly surprised to find out that common denominator was Kyle, for example?
I would be surprised.
Wait, you would or wouldn't?
I would, because I don't think he's going anywhere, but I guess the common denominator doesn't have to be fired, right?
Doesn't have to be fired. Could be called to task, just called to talk with, Sandy and kind of told, hey, get back in line kind of thing. Because I am having a weird relationship with Kyle right now mentally.
I really know what this is.
Right out the gate, you and I really liked Kyle the first season we met him.
Yeah.
He was great on the show, a lot of fun. But then he really got up in the gossip stuff. I'm not a fan of people who like a little bit of gossip's fun, but if that's your whole pastime and that is what you bond with people around is like negativity and like, who did you hear, blah, blah. And even the fact he was the self-proclaimed tea queen or whatever he said this episode of Gossip Queen is like, okay, like I don't like that, Kyle, you know?
Yeah, I Josh, I gotta
That's from last season, right? That's gotta be
that is last season.
Okay.
Kyle just recently took to his Instagram and said that he didn't love himself so much from this season. This is filmed so long ago. We talk about that all the time here on Acre Watch, right? That like these are filmed a year in advance. Like Med for next season that will be next year is already wrapped. That is crazy, right? Yeah. So, which I didn't see Kyle on the photos that we got. Remember, we got these little sneak peek photos of.
But with how things are going, he may not. He's probably not on this. They may have him on another Below Deck.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think he plays well into being kind of. He's good TV. Exactly. He's like a Bravo dream. But he did take to his Instagram. He said, I felt overweight. I didn't feel secure with myself, which, hello, that's what we talked about the last time we did Anchor Watch. And that I just didn't like who I presented. That's kind of what he said on his Instagram. It's up now. You guys can go take a look. He also just battled with some SJS in the hospital. So he's doing better. So we wish Kyle all the best. But yeah, Kyle, he's one of those people who's like, Tumi, Natalia's such a bitch. Natalia, Tumi is such a bitch. It's like, God.
Yeah. I wasn't a fan of I don't know. I like some of gossiping is fun, but yeah, it's too much. I think we just had a super chat come in.
Yeah, sorry. Angelique, thank you so much for the super chat. I needed this before I decided to do a BravoCon. Are you going to BravoCon?
Yeah, is that are you saying you're going? Because you may just see Mr. Jason there and Mr. Adam. Definitely
I will be there. You'll definitely see me there. Yeah, I will be there probably all day long for 3 days. It's gonna be kind of fun. But yeah, I'm really excited for BravoCon. A lot of the Below Deck people are going to go. They really made an effort to have a lot of them there too. Guys, by the way, tonight was the premiere of Winter House. Josh, do you know what Winter House is?
A house that is primarily used during the winter time.
Yes, and that's great.
Let me guess. It was filmed 2 summers ago.
No, it was filmed during the summer while it was snowing. No, it's actually filmed in the winter, but it was last year too. But they have a house where it's kind of like, imagine all of the Below Deck crew going out for their night out, but it's 2 weeks in a house in the snow.
But wait, who goes into this winter house?
Well, usually there's like a cast of just like the summer house or the winter house cast. And then they've gradually added like different cast members from like Southern Charm or now Below Deck. There's a lot of cast members from Below Deck. So we have Alex Propson, who was on Sailing last year. Malia, who is on Below Deck Med. Katie, who is on Below Deck Med. It's crazy. It's kind of unique and interesting because they combine some Vanderpump Rules people and not everyone knows who each other is. It's still boring though, I have to say. I never got into it and I think I'll keep to my Below Deck. I'll keep to my Below Deck. But
that's funny.
I do have a complaint though, and I don't know if you noticed this or anybody in the live chat too. So we said goodbye to our charter guests at the beginning of this episode. They were great guests. They left an astronomical tip, $26,000.
That was a huge tip, and they were those kind of guests where it's like, I think everyone gets, because as soon as someone starts announcing they have high standards, you're like, oh, these are going to be trouble guests. And that turns out they actually were really nice and easy to work with. And the only like kind of issue they raised, and rightfully so, is they wanted her friends' vegan meals to be up to par, or at least close to par with what they were having as far as just like decadence and stuff. And so there's a couple times they called the chef to task, which I get it. It's not his thing, and like that is its own world. So unless a chef truly studies vegan cuisine, it's kind of hard for them to nail it. But yeah, these are totally, for the most part, super great guests. And they left.
Seriously.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest tips we've ever seen on the show.
And it's so funny because when they were leaving, one of my biggest complaints, because I know that every captain runs their own program and their own way of doing things, but
Mhm.
you know, some captains like Captain Lee in past, trying to think of another example. They have everyone in their whites standing up straight or whatever, and it just looked like the cast, like Natalia was like leaning over, the chef was just, Chef Jack was kind of just like that, and I was like, why are you guys so lethargic? You guys are just over this charter, or what? It just looked kind of like bad. I don't know why. I might have been the only one who saw that, but
No, I think that kind of goes back to like, I mean, you and I cared about how parking lot staff acted like in shows we do. You know what I mean? Like for us,
yeah,
as soon as you arrive on the premise or on the property, you are a guest. And so it's like those little things all add up. And those are the things that, yeah, I'm sure 99% of the people watching didn't notice. But it's one of those things that everyone would notice. People notice a standard. They don't know what's contributing to the standard, if that makes sense. So it's like, wow, this was such a professional group. They're polished. It's not their job to know what made it feel like that, but it's the job of the crew to know. And like one of those things is, like you said, standing up, standing tall, standing straight, being in a line, looking respectful. Like those are the kind of things that do add up over time and
yeah.
make a difference in the experience. It kind of reminds me of like Disneyland, how but seriously though, even the people who sweep the streets in Main Street, a job
Yeah.
that a lot of people think, oh, janitorial service, but it's like, nope, they carry themselves in a certain way, have a certain attitude, a smile on their face. Everyone in the park is cast. They're not workers, they're not employees, they are cast members, because you're putting on, at the end of the day, a big show, and everyone involved helps. And yeah,
And I think it's that last bit for me too, because you and I used to talk about this when we were performers, and even coming off the stage, we saw some of the more amateur performers would go to the stage, and where they feel the stage ends, they break out of everything,
yeah,
right? But we keep it on even till like maybe no one could see us, because you just want to keep that chin up kind of thing just until everyone's gone, and not I don't know. It just felt a little kind of lackluster. It might just be me. I don't
yeah.
know if you noticed it. Let me know if you're part of the replay crew. Comment below. I'm curious, but we're not seeing so much of a very hands-on micromanaging Sandy so far this season. Do you feel like that, or
No, we don't feel that way, but I guarantee there will be people who they are like, she's a micromanager, even though she's like flat out said to Tumi and to Luca, that's your problem, deal with it. Like, that's your
right?
department, deal with it.
Right.
She's literally said that to each of them about different crew members and like issues going on. And I guarantee just some people now have it in their heads about her that she's a micromanager and stuff. So they will still say at the end of the season, she micromanaged. So, um,
The thing is I didn't find like Captain Jason in the last season of Below Deck Down Under was very hands-on, almost to the point where you could almost call it micromanaging. In fact, I think some people did in the comments and stuff, but Sandy has done like a 180 and just like, you guys figure it out. I'm here to drive the boat, leave me alone.
And that's just experience, that's skill, that's knowing everything's a balance, right? Like knowing
Right.
how much, and that in itself, it's like they say the hardest thing for a manager to learn is delegation. You helped run Pump. You had to learn that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Delegation is like key, because otherwise you run yourself dry. You can't sit there and worry about every little problem when you have the big picture to run, the big picture to manage. But I kind of like what Captain Sandy said in the tip meeting. She said, respect to the position, respect the workplace. This goes back to kind of like the Captain Lee's saying of like, what did he used to say? Respect your job, respect the boat, something like that. Or I don't know. Someone will let me know in the live chat or the comments. But Thought we're off to a pretty good start. A random question to Chef Jack, because we had this great night out, right? This night out with the entire crew cast. There's been some conflict in the interior regarding, Kyle, Natalia, and Tumi, which Jessica has put herself to the side of this whole situation, but
by leaving the boat.
She's like, bye.
She got blackout drunk, and so she kind of missed the evening. And then the next day was like, I'm hungover and I need an IV drip or something. I'm
like my throat. It's so funny when she was talking to Captain Sandy. I'm like, you were talking to an ex addict. Captain Sandy has talked about this many times. She's been sober for a very, very, very long time, right? So she's looking at her like, did you vomit? Is that why your throat hurts? Okay, well, I don't want whatever you have, which is a hangover.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty funny. No, but I thought it was interesting. But going out there, I mean, have you ever seen Newsies? Newsies, Disney?
Oh, a long time ago.
Yeah, Newsies.
Yeah. First came out.
Well, Chef Jack reminds me of a newsie. I don't know why. With this little hat on, I was like, are you going to deliver the paper? This is great.
As someone who wears
I like him.
Where is my hat?
Where is your hat?
It's right here somewhere. Jeez. Oh, here it is. I'm going to mess up my hair with this thing. Here, in honor of Chef Jack.
Yes, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. I love it. Matt, no, but I have to say the dynamic even between Chef Jack and Tumi quickly changed. I think when you take the drama out of it and people are actually just doing their job, it's just like it makes for a better show. I don't know. You get so stuck on this like tiny, minute drama.
Yeah. A little bit of it's fun, right? But like
fun.
if it becomes the storyline for like multiple episodes, that's where I'm like, I'm out. Give me something new. I want new every episode. I want to be entertained. I have a job that's monotonous at times. I am here to escape monotony. You are my evening escape. So I don't want to see you guys be monotonous in your job. Even Office had new stuff going on, and they were in an office. So
exactly.
Surely those of you working a super yacht in the Mediterranean can give me something new.
Seriously. Agreed. And I, like you said at the beginning, I'm so glad we're not dragging this Natalia Tumi thing off. And that night out, they made up. Let's see how it goes. But quick prediction. Are we expecting that to last, or do you think that Tumi and Natalia will turn again? Because the only reason I bring that up is Tumi is noticing in her confessional, she was saying, I know that Kyle talks shit about her to me, so I know he's talking shit about me to her. So I wonder if you'll see a Natalia Tumi moment talk about Kyle. I don't know. I hope it lasts because I want to see it last.
Before I give my opinion.
Oh God.
Oh no, this is like for those of you guys watching, there's 150 people watching right now. If you guys could hit the like button, or those of you guys who are watching afterwards, hit that like button. You guys are always so great about it. Thank you. This is just your reminder.
Seriously,
it
guys.
helps us so much. It helps Adam's channel. And it's free. It's nothing but hitting a little like button. And I say this every time, but I've gotten in the habit now. Everything I watch on YouTube, just because I know what a difference it can make for the content creators, I hit the like button every time. I feel like now I feel like karmically I have to, or I won't get likes for Adam when we're doing the show. So if you guys can hit the like button, thank you so much.
Seriously.
But yeah, I think here's the thing. I like Natalia, but also I've seen her where she just like, because here's the deal. Even on this season, those crazy eyes, she needs a better photo. But this, I'll send you some from Instagram that we can use.
Those are good.
Then, no, it's, she like kept harping on Tumi. To anyone who will listen, no matter what she was saying or what she was doing, anytime she'd walk into a room, she'd find someone start trashing Tumi. It was like, let it go, girl. Like, it's getting old. Like, let it go. Even Tumi wasn't like, griping about her 24/7. And like Natalia can get on that. She's like a dog with a bone, and like you just can't get it out of her mouth. It's like, let it go. Come on, let go. Free. And it's just like she will not let it go. So I hope she like stays civil with Tumi and has an
I like that
argument.
side. I like that side of her. I really do. I like when Natalia is like more fun. I don't like when she like turns into this like kind of, it just where she gets really, I don't know what the right word to say is, but she gets very um listen, I think though the dynamic of the interior that was causing an issue at the beginning has now kind of shifted focus, and you didn't see it coming, right? Because you thought when we got rid of this guy right here, remember this guy? Anyone? Ruan?
Oh.
When we got you're like, and then we brought in this guy as your, now bosun. You're like, wow, this is amazing. And then you have these wonderful deckhands, Lara and Haley, who are amazing at their job. You just didn't see anything going wrong until we brought on Max. And now Max has this kind of like issue. And
I think you're lucky.
A little issue. When is my break?
So here's the thing. When he did say this was his first time doing a whole charter or a whole crew in English, I was like, okay, props for him. That's huge. Because there's also like, there's one thing conversational, being able to speak a language conversationally, but then when you start doing technical things and like boat jargon and stuff, that's like, and now they're doing it in English. He's trying to figure out what they mean in the French version. That all props to him for the effort in doing this. But dude,
but have you ever worked on a yacht?
Well, and it's like a child. They're constantly telling him like, hey, don't do that. Hey, don't do that. Hey, don't do that. Like he's like swinging on things that could bend. He could
don't hang on that, bro. Don't touch that.
He's
don't
sitting there
push the
pumping
red
and
button.
working out. My wife said, what's with the working out? Because then at the same time, he's totally lazy and totally tires out easily so it's like, maybe you got to quit pumping iron between activities because you are exhausting yourself. Apparently you can't do anything. And it's not fun TV. He's kind of annoying, and I had high hopes for him.
You know what the problem for me with Max too is, like, okay, I get it. Like, you're a little high strung. You have a language barrier in this situation. You have two girls who are very, very good at their job, who are really, he's like the bottom of the totem pole here. But the problem for me was when he defied Luca's, like, anything Luca said. If Luca said, don't do that, or we'll save that for later, or don't do this because it makes things, you know what I mean? And he's like, no, I'm going to do it anyway. I'll do, for instance, pouring over the stuff on the side of the boat.
Yes.
He asked Max, please don't do that. It's going to come back on the boat. And then now we're stuck doing it all over again. And he still does it. It's like, listen to your leader, listen to your superior. You're on a boat, you have a rank. And I think that decision too, because Luca was looking for maybe to name a lead deckhand, which he did, Lara. But I think he was even kind of considering Max at the beginning because Max has experience.
A ton of experience on paper, at least, or
sure.
French yachts or whatever. But so let's go from, because I already announced I don't like dwelling on the negative and stuff. Can we go to the positive? Freaking Lara. Dude, she's amazing. She's the perfect kind of person to have on a team. She's self-motivated. She doesn't just do what's asked. She's looking for what needs to be done. I love Lara. She's funny and just badass. Yeah, totally, Tess. She's also a great, I think she's gonna be good TV too, because she does have a fun side. When they party, she parties, but then when she works, and it's
that
nice
work hard, play hard mentality. It's great for this situation.
And I think it's cool that it's like, we need more women in roles like that and stuff.
Agreed.
But I just love that with her, it's not even a male female issue. It's just quality team member. Like, it's rise above all that kind of shit. And it's so self-evident that she should be named the second, I don't think anyone on the whole boat would disagree except Max.
Not at all. I think we saw that, the evidence there was like when things got tangled, instead of like going to someone to complain about it. I mean, you've already seen what happens. Captain Sandy's like, Luca, take care of it. Instead of going to Luca with the problem, she tries to fix it first, which sometimes
I still will say, as much as I like her jumping in and taking care of it, she should have at least radioed Sandy, I'm going to be by the engine, don't turn it on.
Yeah, that's like, don't start the propellers.
Please, next time. announced you're going down by the blades. That's all. I love the self-motivation.
That's what I was gonna say, though. I was gonna say, like, I love the initiative and taking the initiative, but yeah, maybe like there's got to be some balance, you know. But now as the lead deckhand, she can take things into her own hands, and I feel like that would be a great position for her. And I see that going a lot better than Mr. Maximilian over here, who I don't know what's going on.
Maybe he's the common denominator.
That's what I was thinking. I don't know why, but that's like that came into my head too, because you saw Haley at the end of last episode is already having issues with Max, and Captain Sandy addressed that in the tip meeting.
There's been a couple moments with Luca.
With Luca.
Yeah, he might be the common denominator that's around every time there's arguments and stuff. Sorry to ping pong here, but I'm looking. I have a cast photo over here just to remind me of everyone and their names and stuff. But Jessica, going back to Jessica, she leaves the boat, and now we're watching a charter done by Natalia, Kyle, and Tumi.
And it's going well.
It's going great. You don't even notice she's gone.
I know.
And who I think it was Natalia. I'll credit Natalia with this one. I think it was Natalia who said, "Hey, you have 3 people with Chief Stew experience as a team, so it's like the dream team." And it's like, yeah, totally. Like, and complaining and griping and nitpicking and gossiping aside, those 3 are like really great at their job. They do good. You know what I mean? Like, and so, yeah, having the 3 of them, they're doing just fine. Like, that's not good for Jessica, you know?
It's not good. I do wonder, though, this is the night I wish we had Captain Sean on. Guys, Captain Sean is busy at the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show, which is about to start this week.
Yeah, I think he's traveling, right? Or to it?
Yeah, he's traveling. And, you know, that was one of my questions, because when we were in Fort Lauderdale last year, Sean was telling me, like, there is a certain amount of crew you need on
legally, because overnight and stuff, someone always has to be working 24 hours. Yeah,
exactly. So I'm wondering if that's something here, or maybe that's, I don't see us losing Jessica. She did Watch What Happens Live. Why would they have her on Watch What Happens Live?
No, we're not going to lose her. I'm just saying it's like, it just you want it to look like, you want it to look like it's hard without you. You know what I mean? Like,
always, you want to make your position important. You want to make your job, you need to come off invaluable. You know, that's always what I tell my staff. Don't make me, make yourself valuable, so I don't have to fire you, please. That was interesting. And I just, you know, when she came up to the bridge to Jessica, and she kind of like plopped right in front of Captain Sandy, I'm like, you look good. Your energy's there, but your throat hurts and you're sick, which I don't know if you've ever vomited. Most of us have vomited. Maybe not from alcohol, maybe from alcohol. Who knows? I've vomited all kinds of ways, you know, sans alcohol and with, you know, but
just for fun.
Just not just for fun.
It's Thursday.
But your throat, like it really hurts, especially if you're like projectiling. So I don't know. It was just kind of I was like, girl, you have a hangover. You're young. She is young.
Work. Yeah,
you know, she's young. She has that naive energy almost. But yeah, hopefully we won't lose her. I kind of think that so far, though, you know, TV wise at least, she's been kind of that medium consistent energy around the chaotic Natalia, Tumi, Kyle current situation.
Yeah, she gives us a good baseline.
A good baseline. So we have Jessica out. We have Lara as our new lead deckhand, which Luca thinks will help motivate Max. We'll see. I don't think so, but we'll see. We
push him to his edge. It feels like he's getting tired of being called out for being lazy and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have our new charter guests. And when Captain Sandy was like, Roy Orbison, pretty woman, his son, I was like, oh, like, I was like waiting for something like bigger than that. I know Roy Orbison, I don't think is alive,
Danger Aaron from Jackass.
And
if you've ever seen him, he does they punish him like the hardest. So
he deserves a trip on the yacht. Okay. But man, like I thought it was going to be, because they've been on, this is their 3rd time on board. So Captain Sandy was excited. The crew was kind of excited, but man, Jack is now tasked with not only, you know, different kind of diets, but they want 5-star dining for kids. So this poor guy, like
As someone
already.
who has 2 little ones, little Katie turns 3 in a couple days.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, little Katie. As someone who has 2 little kids, you don't need to do 5-star. I don't like, if anything, the plainer and simpler you can make the food, the higher chance you'll have they'll want to eat it. Poor Natalie, she likes to cook. It's one of her ways of showing love to the families by cooking. And so she'll get so excited. She'll put something for the kids that like takes a little more effort and all this kind of stuff. And then our kids are like, I want plain noodles. It's like, and now like, but why do I even try? That's what I can think about with these kids. It's like they don't need 5-star dining.
They don't need 5-star dining. I don't know if they know what 5-star dining is, or if they could count to 5 at this point.
Make sure the chicken nuggets are crunchy and the French fries are salty.
Yeah, or they're in the shape of Mickey Mouse, or whatever works. There's your 5-star dining. But man, as a chef though, as someone like Jack, who I think really tries to go for that, perfection, like all the chefs do, right? I think it's like going to just be in his head a little bit. Oh, the 5-star dining for the kids. It's like, because the last charter guests were complaining about some of his, vegan options as we discussed earlier. But wow. So one of the bigger things we had too is Luca has been kind of primed to be this like guy who can pretty much like do no wrong, right? Like he came in, he took this position. He's been a great bosun so far. People respect him. He works hard, but something that he doesn't totally get is that experience. Like we were just talking about, like waiting until the guests leave to like droop over and become like lethargic and lazy,
or lifting the tender out of the water and smacking the boat right next to where the guests are eating. It's like, dude,
you could see Sandy fume with her smile. It was like in her eyes. She was like, I'm gonna kill him.
That meme of like screaming silently in my head or something, and just like, yeah.
She did bring up a good point though. Like he used to be an engineer, right? So they don't think about what it is to be in the service, like be in the hospitality aspect of it. It's more, I need to get this
boat out of the water. Let's get the boat out of the water. So
let's do it. And she did say, I'll remind him now, I'll tell him this time, and it will never happen again.
And she's right. He's is the kind of guy that he's a quick study. You know what I mean? Like he's done really good at, like, she says, hey, I don't like this. I want it done this way. And he goes, okay. And then he doesn't make that mistake again. So yeah, he probably will never do that again. It was a good learning experience for him. But if I was having dinner, I would have been like, what the hell is happening? Like, should we move? Do you guys want us to leave? What's going on here?
It's very interesting, but to say the least, episode 5 has been probably one of my more favorite episodes of the season so far. It's been, kind of a slow start, and we still have at least 10 episodes left. I know we'll get a build. I know we'll get a little more action. We're not seeing so much of her like being taxied so much in this port, right? I think they showed that at the beginning, and now we're not paying attention to that so much. But it's interesting. It's like, okay, now we're just on the water. We don't see that as much. I kind of love seeing that aspect of it. I love to watch her park the boat, so I can't wait to see if she can make it in that tight spot next week. But speaking of next week, Josh, what are you looking forward to? Because Sandy, it looks like she has her work cut out for her and addressing still more issues, more conflicts. Where will it come from? Who knows?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to, I want to see if this Natalia Tumi truce lasts. I kind of hope it does. I like seeing them function good together. Like they are talented and they're killing it,
Yeah. Well, like one thing they said is, I think we're so much alike that's maybe why we clash. I don't see them being very similar. I think that was just an excuse to maybe have a truce.
I'll say what they might have in common is they both have high standards and they want the job done well. You know what I mean? Like, to their credit, they both do want this done well. Like they get service, they get, doing good in front of the guests and stuff. So I'll say that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking to see if Kyle can find like Kyle, you don't always have to be in the drama. And I think life is better not always in the drama. So I'd like to see if Kyle can survive being drama free. I don't need a drama queen. Maybe just
I
a drama
think,
princess.
it's just a drama princess. I think though, where Kyle won his first season on Below Deck was he was full of like that kind of. It was a fun drama, right? Like he had a lot of fun moments his first season. A lot of fun moments, like with the guests, and he was a little snarky, but not in a way where you wouldn't like it. He was a bit dramatic, but this time I think we're seeing a different. He's playing for the television a lot, and instead of just being himself, which kind of made it special in the first place. But God, I don't want him to get mad at me before I see him next week. So.
I don't even know if I should ask this question then. I'm gonna
ask it. Ask it.
Did you see him on Andy after the show?
I did.
Okay. I just want to know. I don't know this world really well when it comes to all this stuff. Did he have lip fillers?
Oh, I don't know. Wait, hold on.
He looked different. My wife and I were trying to put our finger on, like, what is different? I was like, I think his lips are different.
Do you maybe it was just he was using some kind of plumping thing? Or whatever?
I don't know.
How do you not know?
I don't know. He looked different, and I was trying to like, what is different? There's something structurally different.
I saw a photo of him just recently, and from Watch What Happens Live, because I watched a little bit when he was on there. I just wasn't paying attention so much. I don't think so. Maybe? No.
Maybe I'm crazy.
I mean, listen, it's in, right? Like people are doing it right and left. These Bravo people.
That's what I said. I was like, I know it's like trendy right now. Some people are saying yes. Samar, I think Amanda, is this what you're referencing?
Hold on.
Someone brought up Kyle's underwear, his like bikini tie-up brief things he was in for a moment. I was like, why are we seeing this?
I do have to say, I'm not defending anything though. Here, let me bring up this photo.
Someone said
is it
he had his eyes
hair?
done? It's not just the hair. I mean, he's definitely got like a fun 80s thing going on. Definitely reminds me, like if someone told me, oh, he was the third member of Wham, I'd be like, yes. And I mean that as a compliment. He's definitely got this like 80s
I actually prefer the longer hair, to be honest.
This looks more mature. It looks older. Like I think the short hair is just kind of like
as
two guys with short hair, but I'm just saying like he looks older, more mature. But something's going on with the face. I don't know.
Something. It might be a little I don't know, prick and fix, or I have no idea.
Ask him.
Yeah. Hey, what'd you do?
Maybe I'll do a little tune-up live for you guys.
I haven't seen you in a year since the last BravoCon, but what'd you do to your face? No. Listen, I do have to say, taking accountability though, like getting on your Instagram and be like, I do not like that person. That was a year ago. So it would be nice to see him somewhere else eventually. So I don't know if we're going to see him on Below Deck Med. It doesn't look like next season, but
it doesn't look like it from the photos. But that tells me I would not be surprised if we see him on another Below Deck. They are moving people around, people that are like, I don't know. He just feels like someone that's a mainstay. Like he's always going to be on some Below Deck within.
I would love to see him on Below Deck OG with Captain Carey and Fraser. I would love to see Fraser and Kyle work together. I would just love to see that dynamic.
I think you were the one that threw out the idea. What if we had an all-male interior one time, and it was like Kyle?
What if?
That would.
What I mean, we're watching right now. We're watching this. We have two amazing, very skilled female deckhands.
Yeah,
so it's fun to
all
watch.
Female deckhand crew. Like flip it on its head of what we're used to seeing.
Yeah, the stereotype of the interior, the stereotype of the exterior. It's nice. Let's flip it. Let's see what it looks like. With a little, mix it up. I think that would be really, really cool. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. You know who is also looking really good in those confessionals? I'm not trying to like say anybody does anything to their face, I'm not saying
kind of am. I'm just saying what is different. What's the difference?
there's a difference if you watch this past. And I don't want to get in trouble next week. I'm trying to be really good right now because
you're complimenting someone. You're about to compliment someone. You said it. Yeah.
Yes, because she looks great. Captain Sandy looks great, but there is like one or two confessional moments where the face is tighter than before, and that's okay because at that age, I would do the same thing. Honestly, like I don't know if she did. She just looks amazing. It could be her makeup. It could be a new skincare routine. I don't know. She looks very very good.
I need a new one. Look at this. I cut myself. You guys haven't noticed. Jeez Louise. Looks like a half a marionette on this side. Good God.
Getting ready for Halloween. Take Halloween too seriously.
Better cut this one.
I just want to see how I'm going to bleed for next week when I put on my costume. I mean, here it looks fine with the lighting. But pay attention there because there are sometimes they film confessionals like there, and then like a year later they're like, oh, we need some pickup shots. We need you to talk about this. And I've caught those moments before. I think actually on the last season when we had Motor Yacht Home with Kyle, and Chef Dave and all of that. I think there were some moments of that where Sandy was in different confessionals and like her hair was looked like amazing. Like she was in LA at some studio. It was amazing.
Hey, here's just some catching up on some comments. Deborah saying Frasier would lose his mind if he had to manage Kyle.
I feel like he'd flip his shit. I would love to let's give Fraser 2.
Oh, our other Deborah said Frasier is much too serious to deal with Kyle's foolishness.
but would it be amazing television? Absolutely. Because Kyle wants to be the chief stew, Yeah. And look, I mean, so did Fraser. And now Fraser has it. And last season we watched him run in circles to try to fix everything that was happening. I don't know.
Ginger, I don't know what you're asking about, but if you're offering, no, I'm kidding.
Lord, maybe Sandy is engaged.
Oh, maybe that's what she's saying.
She is. She's going through it. Well, I don't know what Rand's doing, but
not working legally last week.
All right, guys, so we're gonna wrap here. So again, we will be back in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Next week is Halloween, and Adam and I are actually leaving for BravoCon.
Hey, throw your hand up in the chat if you're going to BravoCon. I just want to see how many people are going. And definitely say hi to Jason. Say hi to Adam. But especially say hi to Jason. Let him know that you watch our show. I just want to hear from Jason.
Guys, it happened last year a lot too. So for those of you who don't know, I work closely with Caroline Stanberry and Sergio on some products and stuff when we're off YouTube. So I will be at her booth the whole time at BravoCon. So if you are going, come up and say hi. And last year it happened. It was so funny because Adam and me and Emily D. Baker, we were standing right in front of Caroline's booth, and she was taking pictures and signing stuff, right? And people were like, Adam, like Emily, and they were like, Jason, I love Anchor Watch, right? And I was like, wait, people watch that? Do they really watch that? Because we don't know, right? And Caroline's just, she turns to me, she's like, whose booth is this? And I was like, oh, sorry. Sorry.
Hey guys, thanks for watching too. This is so much
Cheryl's
fun.
going. Seriously.
Okay, good. Cheryl's going. There's one. But yeah, thank you guys so much. It's so much fun doing this. It's our, Wednesday night. What's going on in the middle, or Tuesday nights? What's going on in the middle of the week? Nothing. We purposely chose Tuesday nights because nothing ever happens. And so it's just a good excuse really for Jason and I to hang out. And then now we've met so many of you guys and everyone's funny. You guys post good comments. Replay crew. I like going back and forth with you guys. So yeah, just thanks so much for spending time with us. That's the greatest gift you can give someone is your time. That's the ultimate gift. So Thanks for giving it to us. Thanks for spending it with us.
Yeah. And it's fun too, because I love continuing the conversation. Like you said, Josh, we are always in the comments after. And then just to throw this out there, guys. So we are now with Cloud 10 on podcasts. So Cloud 10 is our new network that we're with. They are fantastic and amazing. Go over there, subscribe, follow on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. If you jump on Apple Podcasts, go ahead and give us a 5-star rating. Please, it helps us out a lot. It's like hitting that like button. You don't even have to write a review, but there's a lot of things coming up that will be podcast only. It will be exclusive. There's no membership. It is free. So if you prefer listening to our live streams, you can listen to them there. But also pay attention. There's going to be some exclusive podcast only episodes coming up.
And Jason,
with,
this is
people.
the Up and Adam feed, right? Like they'll get all the shows on one
Yes.
feed.
So you'll get every live stream that is on Up and Adam will also be on the podcast, because some people actually prefer to listen, or they try to listen. I know my mom listens all the time and she has her phone on and it's playing YouTube. And I'm like, you can just listen to the podcast if you don't want to.
Yeah, we actually have a lot of Anchor Watch people who listen, and like I've gotten messages from some people that said they listen while they're working at work. They'll have like an AirPod in and they'll just be working, and or a lot of people work from home, and so I know we're keeping a lot of people company while they're working from home. If you guys message in the comments, Replay Crew, where are you watching from? I know our live people are like they're with us right now.
Yeah, they're with us.
When do you watch us? Like, are we part of like your weekly routine? Like, oh, every Wednesday when I do, when I'm cleaning the house or something, I listen to you guys. I would love to hear these things, because I listen to podcasts all the time. I always have one of my AirPods in so I can hear like the house and stuff. But like when I'm doing like laundry or doing dishes or cutting the yard or whatever, I'm always listening to podcasts. And so it's fun to me that like I am now one of those podcasts that people are listening to, and I'm like helping people get through hopefully some like kind of monotonous work or boring stuff. So yeah, just message in the comments if you guys like when and stuff, you guys.
Yeah, no, do it. And like I said, guys, follow the podcast. Great exclusive stuff coming up. Actually, one of our big things that I was hinting at that we're dropping when we get back from BravoCon will actually be available on the podcast hours before it's released on YouTube. So head on over there. It will be a lot of fun. All right, guys, we'll love you and leave you. Josh, thanks again for joining us. Captain Sandy, Kyle, we didn't mean anything. You guys look great.
You guys are wonderful. We love you both. And hopefully Jason and I kept the energy up. We're both sick, so if
we appreciate
wrong
it.
With the show, you guys know. And if anyone was offended, well, we're blaming it on the sickness. So
it's blaming the sickness. Thank you to our mods for being here tonight. All of our subs, members, and anyone who just joined in tonight. We love you, and we will see you all. I was going to say next week, in 2 weeks. Bye, guys.